Good evening. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Zeca Marques. I think we're into interesting weekends. Lots of games the last weekend. Champions League, Springboks, lots to unpack here. With me in the studio, none other than my colleague, Sia. It's Friday. What are you planning after our show? Where are you going?
Straight to bed.
No, you can't.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's also a weekend.
It was a weekend.
Yeah.
Who's a weekend?
Maybe not, but it's also a weekend. It's a time to charge your batteries.
Of course.
Chill, go with your mates. Have you planned anything special for tonight or tomorrow?
No. Nothing planned. That's the honest.
You get home and then your friends phone you, go, I'm on my way. Sometimes it's the best, by the way.
True. Do you have plans for this weekend, Coach?
For tonight, nothing.
Okay.
But as I say, we leave you.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of those friends that listen. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. Okay, we're going to this restaurant. We're going to have pizzas. Join us. That's how we operate.
True.
And then tomorrow, nothing.
And it's that time of the year. I mean, it's almost festive season. It's time to go out, be with your mates. After you've had a long year, I think it's that time to unwind a bit. It's allowed.
Listen, technically speaking, we've got 2 weeks left.
Imagine.
Because from the 16th of December,
It's over.
it's over.
True. 2
And-
weeks and the year is over.
Yeah.
It flew, hey?
Yeah.
It flew.
I was driving here tonight and I was thinking to myself, my gosh, 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And we're on holiday.
Exactly.
Companies shut down. People are planning. So 2 weeks is quick.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, it's downhill. Literally
Sure.
downhill.
Tell me something, Coach, when you say the country shuts down. You know, in South Africa, when it's festive season, it's really festive season. How is the vibe in Portugal when it's summer, obviously, during June, July? Everything shuts down as well. It's a big party like South Africa. How does it work in Europe?
Yeah, looks June, July.
Uh-huh.
August is the main month.
Oh.
Where everything technically shuts down. The courts shut down. The only things that operate, obviously, the hospitals
Of
and
course,
those
of
type
course,
of
of
situations.
course, of course.
But it's technically a shutdown.
So August is the
August is
December
the month,
of
is the month.
Is it just a Portuguese thing or the whole of Europe?
Europe.
Ah.
It's the European summer.
Okay.
July, August. But
Ah.
August is the main one. And obviously December, listen, it's all the lights are on in Europe. You know, people can't understand that we are shutting down in December when they're actually working right through.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to them.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you're not available from the 15th? You're on holiday. You're on holiday. I'm on the coast.
Yeah.
Some people have gone skiing. Others have gone whatever, you know.
True.
Others have gone to the homelands.
Definitely.
Oof, how busy does the Mozambican border
Oh.
get? And the Zimbabwean border. I'm not sure it's going to get that busy this year, the Mozambican border, with all the shenanigans going on.
True.
But nonetheless, yeah, it's just that time of the year.
Festive season.
So a
Festive.
lot to look forward to and just unwind a bit.
Yeah.
The nice thing about these things is you wake up in the morning and there's no work to be done. And sometimes waking up in the morning and not having a plan and not having anywhere to go, it's perfect.
It's perfect. It's just to relax.
Just to relax.
Yeah. Going out with those holidays?
I actually am. I'm going down to Grahamstown. My son lives in Grahamstown.
Oh, nice.
So we're going down to the coast.
Nice.
It's always nice. The coast is always nice.
Nice.
I've never had a bad holiday on the coast.
But do you ever get a bad holiday? I don't think you'll get a bad holiday.
Oh, you can, eh?
Is it?
Yeah, listen, there are people that love skiing. For them, that's a nice holiday. Others love to be amongst the snow during Christmas time.
True.
Interesting, we talk like this. The Europeans find it very strange when they're in South Africa and it's hot, there's no snow, and they're coming on holiday. Yeah,
True.
it's just like a difference for them. But yeah, a lot of people like that. Others like going on cruises. Others just the coast is the easier one, obviously, but others like the Kruger Park. It's amazing.
It all depends.
Yeah, what people enjoy doing.
Speaking of the year that we've just had, Coach, you know I always have questions when Coach Zeca Marques is in town, so much to discuss and so much to talk about. You look at this year, hey, I think if there's a sporting team that needs to be celebrated, we've spoken about them. They did it again last weekend against the Wales, convincingly beating the Wales by 12-45. It was the last fixture for them as well. They're also going to take it easy. They are back next year. What have you made of the season that they've had holistically?
Oh, absolutely devastating. They just steamrolled anyone.
The whole year. It's been
whole year.
an amazing year
It's
for
just
them.
been one of those, the Springboks who just bring them on every game. I mean, Wales no pushover.
Of course.
And the result was amazing.
Yeah.
The great thing about the Springboks, they keep changing, and whatever they do just keeps working for them.
True.
So I'm just so disappointed and shocked that Rossi never got the Coach of the Year.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't
He
make
was
sense.
a Frenchman.
Yeah. It doesn't
On what
make
grounds?
sense.
You
It
know.
really doesn't make
So
sense.
there's definitely a conspiracy theory behind that.
Of course.
You know.
Of course.
But they can have that trophy. We took the World Cup. We took all the other results.
Of course.
But nonetheless, if I was Rassi, I would be a little bit angry, to be honest. Because how do you judge people? How do you judge coaches?
Results.
Results. It's that simple. You know, otherwise you start giving it to every Tom, Dick and Harry now.
True.
Results was and still is the Springboks. And I'm actually looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
I saw the program in South Africa. We got the Italians coming over, the Argentinians, Georgia, some smaller teams, but it's great to have them here.
True.
You know,
True.
Just for them, it's brilliant playing against the Springboks in South Africa. It's just a different vibe where you got 50,000 South Africans in the stadium, really understanding the culture of the rugby as we know it, and they're coming to play in our back door.
True. Coach, you touched on something very interesting that I wanted to ask you anyways. Thank you for touching on that. When it comes to all these world awards, we always seem to come second. I mean, about 2-3 weeks back, it was Ronan Williams, but I would understand that one. But when I look back, there was a time where, I don't know if you remember, where the Baroka goalkeeper went to the awards and he never won the trophy. I mean, if you're a goalkeeper and you score an equalizer in the 93rd minute with a scissors kick, a goalkeeper bicycle kick, that should be the goal of the year, surely, because it's a goalkeeper. But because of these shenanigans that happened in European countries, I don't know what happened there. I think the same thing applies to Rassi. I felt Rassi, if you were judging fairly, voting fairly, he should have won it. Is it a case of we don't vote enough, or the panels that sit don't think we are good enough?
It's the whole story of politics playing a role in the panels. Unfortunately, it does happen. That's why, for me, awards, I take it with a pinch of salt.
In general.
Okay. I really don't look into it. We saw it now with the FIFA awards. With Ronwin. I think they put him there to patronize him, to be fair. They knew the winner was going to be.
Sure.
But if they left him out, it was going to raise eyebrows.
Yeah, of course.
So they're just like, oh, by the way, we can't leave this chappie out. They incorporated him. But it's very sad that sports is run that way. And interesting enough, yesterday I was watching a program yesterday on BBC, and they had this Croatian coach who gave up everything and went to live in the mountains. So they did a documentary on him.
Okay.
And the question at the end was, why did you leave all this wealth, all the success, everything you have, to come and live in the mountains? And he pointed out an interesting point where he said, I decided to give sports up when I realized that it was no longer fair.
Shoo.
And I thought to myself, that's exactly how we are, or what we go through. And that's why I also gave up coaching for a while. And that's why a lot of people give up sports, because it's not fair. Besides what FIFA tell you.
Fair play.
Fair play. That's just a slogan. And he was saying that, and he was a swimming coach. And he said that the lady, he was a swimming coach and an athletic coach, and he had an African girl from Ethiopia, who was going to run 5,000 meters, and she was ready to break the record. And people knew she was ready to break the record because of the previous races. So she was a threat. And 2 days before the race, they got a phone call saying she's been banned.
No ways. On what basis?
On doping.
Always the case,
yeah. And he's right then he said, that was my decision, I'm giving up sports. There's no honesty in this.
True.
And the more you realize this, and that's why you see, which is an interesting topic, I think you and I must unpack this one day, is the stresses that of the elite sportsmen go through to reach the pinnacle in their career. We sometimes don't realize the stress, the mental health, the depression that they go through. We hear about them eventually. We saw Louis Hamilton, we saw Coco. We hear about these stories, but we don't realize the trip that it takes to get there. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is another one of those stories
Of course.
where sports
Of
is
course.
not honest.
Of course.
And they
of
talk about
course.
fair play, and they talk about the best will always rise. No, it's not always the best.
Hmm.
Because people who've never played sports, and this is the sad part about administrators, most of the administrators in sport never played sport.
Of course.
They love the game,
Mm.
and then they get involved in sports, and then they have ego issues,
Hmm.
and they decide what happens in the sports.
Hmm.
And until sportsmen start running these administrations, nothing will
yeah.
ever change.
Because I feel like if you're Minister of Sports, coach, you must have traveled with the school cricket team or school soccer team as a player, and you must probably been a teacher or a coach, went through the ranks, and then eventually one day when you sit at the top of the office, you understand the dynamics that take place on the ground. But you can't just be from nowhere put Sia to be Minister of, I don't know, of finance. I've never worked in a financial institution. Of course I'm going to fumble. Same thing must go to sports. People who are Minister of Sports are people who have represented their provincial colours, national colours, and stuff like that.
Or do what our current Minister of Sports is doing.
You can see he's active.
He's addressing issues. And that's all you want.
That's all you want.
I give our Minister of Sport a lot of credit for what he's doing.
Wow.
Because he's challenging the status quo.
Of course.
Other ministers have just looked to the other opposite side.
Of course.
Gayton is challenging the status quo.
Of course.
So as long as you do what you have to do in your position or in your portfolio, it's great. But it's the other codes of sports that don't do what they have to do. And now, yesterday I was chatting to a mate of mine, and someone asked him, "Why don't you become a politician?"
Mm-hmm.
He's a lawyer. And someone said to him, it was actually interesting enough, it was the farewell lunch for the Portuguese ambassador.
Oh, okay.
And he actually asked the question to one of our colleagues. And he said to him, "Why don't you become a politician?" So he says he doesn't have what it takes to become a politician. It's a dirty game. It's a fact. It drains you emotionally. And he says he just can't see himself fighting battles every single day.
Yeah.
He says he just can't do it. And this is exactly what sportsmen do.
Sure.
They fight battles every single day against the injustices of whatever system there is.
Sure.
And if people want to block you, the administrators are the ones that block you. For some reason or whatever, they block you. And that's why it's so unfair.
Coach, I'm sorry you're off ramping so much now, but I'm tempted to ask you this question, and I cannot not ask you now that we are on this topic. It's something that has dominated the sporting back pages in newspapers for many, many years. Do you think the same thing happened to Caster Semenya? Because Caster Semenya was going to be the greatest of all time. Had she been given a chance to run the races? Is it a case of we can't have this African girl breaking all the records, let's just try and stop her? What do you think happened there, in your opinion, as Zeca Marques?
Yeah.
Not as sports talk, but as the individual
Yeah.
Zeca Marques.
I don't know enough
Mm-hmm.
to discuss the topic,
Yeah.
but I think they had some reason. But I think not enough was done to help her cause either. We saw now in the last Olympics, there was
Yeah.
a boxer. I think it was a girl from, I'm not sure if it was Turkey or Italy.
Yeah.
She was a gender change, and she boxed in the female boxing category, and obviously she won.
Yeah.
And everyone knew that, and they looked the other way. And this is where people become rebels. It's
Sure.
against these injustices. Because when Semenya's case came up, there was a lot of controversy.
Of
But I
course.
don't think enough was done.
Okay.
And it was a quick decision, and I agree with you. It was a quick decision because we came from Africa.
True.
Because in other parts of the world, only afterwards they took action against her, but she had won the medal.
Yeah. So, Coach, I want you to help me. I want you to school me. From my, as a layman's term, from where I'm standing, Coach, I think she's a lady. I mean, whether you prove that she's got muscles of being a guy and whatever, but at the end of the day, her birth certificate says that she's a lady. In sports, who are we to say that no, but she can't compete with ladies because she's slightly stronger? If that's the case, kudos to her. Is it unfair? Maybe. Hence, I'm saying school me.
I agree with you. It's fair.
Uh-huh.
What she went through is unfair. If a birth certificate says she's a lady,
Yeah.
and you get cases in the world where it's abnormal, and she was one of those. We would even use the word freak.
Of course, yes.
It's a freak of nature.
Yes.
So be it.
True.
You know, who are we to decide?
Exactly.
We didn't create her.
Exactly.
You know, so she was given a very raw deal, to the point where we know what happened, and I think it's definitely unfair. Be it what it may, she proved the point. She was treated, in my view, unfairly, but I don't know enough.
Of course, I like the fact that you say we don't know enough to unpack it. Yeah. But from the surface,
if it says she's a lady,
she must compete with ladies.
This is it. So what are we going on now?
Yeah, because someone once said that to me, that why wasn't David Beckham being stopped with playing with the guys? Because David Beckham always anyways, that's a story for
he looked yeah, man.
yeah. So coach, back to the Rassie issue as we sum it all up and put it to bed. So we can agree that it was not fair on Rassie. That we can actually agree that the Europeans have something against us.
Yeah, I really don't understand why. If you're basing it on fairness, if you're basing it on results, the results speak for themselves.
Okay, true.
The rest are just there to make up the numbers.
True.
It's very easy to work these things out if you're honest.
True.
If you have integrity, you go, who won the World Cup? Who's won the most games? Who's achieved the most? ABC, name, Rassie. Who hasn't achieved any? Well, this guy's been there. Okay, let's make up the numbers with the other four. But there's the contender. Done.
True.
Case closed.
True.
So, don't bother winning World Cups anymore because you're not going to achieve anything. You're not going to be recognised.
Well said. Coach, as we move right along...
I'll tell you why, sorry. Maybe because he was a water boy for too long.
So they said, no way. We'll give it to the real coaches. You said it, not me.
He was a water boy.
For the longest time. And coach, for you as a coach, to produce such results consistently for so many years, what does it take? Because now I'm going to move on to Pep Guardiola. We've seen the past 6 games he's not been able to get a result. They even played this week against Feyenoord at home, played to a 3-3 draw. Has he reached the ceiling? How does Rassie do it right? Is he going to reach the ceiling one day? What does it take for a coach year in, year out for you to be on top of your game, like a Pep and a Rassie?
For me, there's 2 things, and I think I mentioned it a while back.
Yes.
Number 1, you need to be talented.
Yes, you did say, yes.
Number 2, you need to be creative. Creativity comes in these moments where the results are not coming, where you can sit back and reflect and work out what the problems are. Now, to be fair to Pep, I watched some of the games.
Yes, sir.
And the results shouldn't be the results that we saw.
Of course.
Some games you should have actually won.
Of course.
And this is where the unfairness comes in.
I mean, even the game they played against Tottenham, the 4-0, they could have easily won that game had they converted.
And
I'm with you on that
sometimes you lose a game and you should have actually won it, but that's how it goes. There's no percentage. Possession doesn't play a role here anymore. Doesn't matter how many times you have a shot on target. Doesn't matter how many times you shoot towards the goals. What counts is the balls that go in, irrespective of what happens. And I watched last night, actually on Tuesday, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure. But anyway, there was a goal saved off the line.
Yes,
those situations happen.
Yes.
Then it hit the crossbar. Within 3 minutes, things were happening.
True.
And some days you do you actually have more luck. This is why luck plays a role. Having said that, a coach like Pep and a team like Manchester City, who have been used to winning, and it's become a culture now.
Yes.
Where they just win. They go on the field and 90% of the chances that they're going to win.
I mean, they even win on the tunnel as they are walking down. They've won the game already. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think the foundation has been rocked. I certainly believe that the players are starting to doubt themselves as far as confidence is concerned. There's self-doubt now in the team. And all you need is some players in the team to start crumbling with the confidence and going through a bad patch, and the results will start turning against them, because you can only achieve results when you've got 11 players really performing and focused.
Sure.
The minute you start having some gaps in the team, there's going to be some opportunities for the opposition. That's one. Number two, they've lost 6. After the third game, the opposition see, hang on, these guys can be taken. It gives opposition much more hope than what they had before. They can see there's a weakness. They can see that emotionally, psychologically, they're not on top of their game.
Of course.
And if we knock another one in the foundation, they'll crumble again. And that's all it takes.
Because you'd expect, Coach, just to add on what you're saying, you'd expect a team like Feyenoord to come and sit back. But no, as you say, they realize that these guys are actually there for the taking. To go to Etihad and score 3 goals, it's not an easy task.
Exactly. Now, you take, for example, Manchester City, 5 games.
Yes, sir.
Loss. Play against Feyenoord. Feyenoord, no. It's like a boxer.
Yeah.
When you're in the ring, if you go at him, he's going to crumble. He's going to defend. He's going to be on the ropes. And when do you want to hit him? When he's on the ropes. And Manchester City's on the ropes at the moment.
I get you.
And all you need is that knockout punch. And even, listen, the City were 3-0 up. It was technically game, set, match.
Of course.
In any time of the era of Manchester City, let's take the last 10 years.
You'd expect 6. If it's 3, you say another 3 is coming.
Another 3 is coming.
Yeah.
And they crumbled. Because the minute they conceded the first goal, that's where the first knock of the breakdown comes in.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, the opposition on the high. And the second goal came. That broke them down even more. And then the third one just put things to bed.
But, Coach, is it a psychological thing? How do you work around the players?
Resilience.
So you tell them, guys, we're not yet done.
Bounce back attitude. But after losing 5 games, it's not that easy anymore.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, it's not that easy. That's why you normally see coaches after 5-6 games, they leave because they've got no solutions. They don't have solutions to turn this team around. The team started to lose belief with the coach. The coach's words don't have impact any longer. Technically, it doesn't matter what he says, doesn't apply because it's the emotional factor that's holding the players back.
Sure.
And words can make a difference. And if you don't have the right words anymore, because even as a coach, you start thinking, what do I tell these guys? What next? We've lost 5. Do I tell them, keep going? What do I... They're going to look at me and say, is this guy crazy or what?
Of course.
Guys, we've been unlucky. 5 games we've been unlucky? No, it's no longer unlucky. Can you see? 2 games you can be unlucky. Not after 5. That's when you need to change your coach. That's why some coaches leave after 5 games.
True.
Because, and you saw with Ten Hag.
He
left and all of a sudden there was this upswing. Because...
Just like that.
That's why we in Portugal we're talking about a psychological... what's it? I'm trying to get the right word. Yeah, but it's all about psyche. Do
you think Manchester, I'm not saying they'll win the league, but do you think come end of the season, the last 5 games, they'll still be competing?
Yes.
They'll still compete.
Teams like this normally will get shaken. They'll go through a bad patch. But the quality will keep them going.
Of course. Yeah, you can't be a bad team in 5 games.
Yeah.
Like you can't play 100 good games and then you become a bad team after 5 games. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So it's a lot of psychological talk at the moment. It's behind the scenes. It's trying to get the players' spirits up. It's the group trying to unite now.
I get it.
Working together. And all you need is some cracks in the armour and things don't work anymore. And then the coach has to identify which players he can't count anymore. Because there are players in the system that, when they're winning, everything's perfect. Everyone can play in a winning team.
Of course.
And you win and you're on top of the world. It's when you start losing 5 games in a row. This is where you've got to start digging deep. This is where you need the resilience. This is where your mindset comes in. This is where you've got to go home and say, I've had enough of losing. No more. The next game is my last game. I'm done with this. Now we play to win. It's a mentality change. And the coach has to drive that. But then the group needs to unite behind him. And the more you have of that, the easier it becomes for the coach.
I get it. And Coach, you saw some interesting fixtures this week in the UEFA Champions League. Now that we are on final end, Manchester City. What did you make of Arsenal, Sporting Lisbon, 5-1? I'll be honest with you. I obviously thought Arsenal might just be the better team than Sporting Lisbon. They're playing away from home. They'll probably get a draw, or if they win, 2-1, 3-1 would be pushing it. I thought it was going to be a close one, but 5-1 against Sporting Lisbon. I was shocked as I was watching that match. What went wrong? I don't think Sporting Lisbon is a 5-1 losing team. I've watched them over the years. What went wrong there? Different voice? Do they miss their... Please break it down for us, Coach.
I wasn't surprised.
Wow.
I was expecting, not the 5, but I was expecting a loss.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'll break it down nicely for you.
Please.
So you've had Ruben Amorim at the helm for the last 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Lots of success. He's created a bit of... There's a connection between the team. They understand him. They believe in him. More than understanding, they believe in him. They believe in everything he says. He can tell them, guys, on the 20th minute, we're all going to walk out and get a cup of coffee, and the players will do it.
Yeah.
Because they believe him. That's how it is. If you believe a coach, you get results. And here comes this unknown. I mean, we know him. He played for Benfica. He played for the national team. But he was coaching the reserves. There's no credibility there. There's no pedigree as coaching is concerned. Now you're taking over for someone that has an emotional connection with the players, has had huge success.
True.
And you're coming in that moment where the players need to believe you. Firstly, I think it shocked them that the coach left.
Ouch.
So it's definitely a shock. Why now? Because they had hopes of doing well in the Champions League. There was momentum. They hadn't lost a game. Top of the league in Portugal. There was momentum with Sporting.
Of course.
He leaves.
I mean, they even beat Manchester City 4-1
4-1
after they were leading. No one does that.
No one. Exactly. So he leaves. He rocks the boat. No doubt. A lot of players must have felt let down by the coach.
I get it.
And basically lost hope.
Ouch.
Like, oh, wow. And then comes this new kid on the block. Doesn't have the same impact. And it's time to gain the players' confidence. And Arsenal come along and whack him 5 at home.
And Arsenal are desperate for a win themselves.
They were desperate for a proper win.
Yeah.
Now you have the media against you. You have the chairman that starts thinking, oof, did I make the right choice?
Ouch.
You have the players that start saying, this coach is clueless. There were already a few talks about certain players out of position. You should have played this guy. You should have done this. When you win, no one asks questions. When you lose, all the questions are there. I remember when I was at Swallows and we lost the game, the chairman even asked me what we had for breakfast. Come on, really?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I should have had 2 eggs instead of 1.
That's
That's how football is.
That's what's going to be my next question was going to be, but I want to bring it straight to you. My next question was going to be, so if you've built something like this at Sporting Lisbon, as an individual, do you say, no, I'm staying with Sporting Lisbon, Manchester can wait, but Manchester is obviously a bigger brand, a bigger team, you want to grow as a coach. But I want to take it directly to you. Here's Coach Zeca Marques. He's got in a solid squad. Telifa Tutudupas, Lerato Shabangu, Bennett Chenenez. They've got something solid going. They just won the MTN 8 and they're doing well on the log. And then the big boys come knocking. He achieves the Paris or Sundowns. Coach, we need your services. Does now Coach Zeca say, hey, but we've built something amazing here. I can't let this thing go. What if that side is not going to be as amazing? What about the fans? Which they love you. Solas fans love you to this day. Do you think about all those things, or do you go for a Pirates, a Chiefs, or a Sundowns? What does Coach Zeca Marques do in that situation? You're basically answering the Sporting Lisbon question.
Yeah. It's a great question. Based on my experience, I'll move.
That was easy.
No, very easy.
I thought you were going to think about it.
No,
why is that, Coach?
Very easy. Because you might have a bad run at Swallows after the win and you'll get fired. That's number one.
True.
Number two, you can't compare the salary of those teams to Swallows.
Of course.
Number three, the prestige.
Of course.
Number four, it goes on your CV.
Of course.
From Chiefs, it's a bigger jump.
Of course. So you don't blame Ruben?
Never. In actual fact, if he hadn't done it, as a coach, he ran the risk. And if he hadn't done it, he would live with regrets.
Of course.
I'm living with regrets.
Do you want to share something, Coach? Just to spice things up. That should be nice and exclusive.
No. The regret is exactly that. That I was offered a chance to go and coach another team. And I said, no, I want to stay at Swallows to build this team. Because I can see the vision. And it backfired.
Ouch.
So I understand the dynamics.
You also missed out on Bafana as well, hey? You also had the chance to go to Bafana, but you were like, no, I'll stay with the Dube Birds.
So true.
Which are not existing even today.
Yeah. So when Gordon went to the national team, I was the priority to go with him as assistant coach.
That only made sense. That was academic.
Yes, Gordon's like, Zeca, I'm going, I've got the job, I want you to come with me. And then after a few days, he discussed it with me, and he's like, but you are more than ready to take Swallows. Because he knew what I was doing, and so did other people. Even when Heine was here. Heine Zabel actually told our CEO at one stage, the most important guy you have in this club is Zeca Marques.
Sure.
I don't know what Zeca is earning, but whatever he's earning, you pay him double. He's the most important guy you have here.
Wow.
And I was assistant coach.
Wow.
So when Gordon left, he's like, Zeca, you must come with me. Because Gordon knew him and I worked well. And again, I talk about trust. There was trust. And when, as a head coach, you need someone that you can trust. When he gives you an advice, when he gives you feedback on anything, there can't be any doubts. And Gordon knew he could trust me. So, and then he said, but listen, if you and I go, Swallows is doomed. Because
we've built something here.
We built something, and you are ready to take over, Zeca. You're more than ready to take over. And then he told Leon Prince,
I'm
not going to take Zeca anymore. Let him take over. He's ready to take over.
But it was worth it because you won the MT8.
Yes.
Had you not won anything, it was going to be a different case. But you won the MT8.
We won the MT8, yes. But what would have life been if I'd gone to the national team?
I can imagine.
It's a different dynamic. On my CV, it says assistant coach Bafana.
Yeah.
That's the dynamic.
Maybe we would have gone to World Cups.
Maybe I would have gone to World Cups. Exactly. Lots of things could have happened. Maybe I would have jumped into other things.
Sure.
So, today I live with those regrets.
So, Coach, the notion that there's no loyalty in football is it exists.
No, it's not a question of loyalty. Loyalty is while you're there.
True.
Loyalty
That's so true. Working. Yeah.
Do your job while you're there. That's loyalty.
Of course.
But if something else comes better, and coaches run the risk on a daily basis. There. Guardiola, 6 games in a row, but he's just signed a 2-year contract.
Just after signing, eh?
Yeah.
Just after signing.
So, but the loyalty is while you're working, while you're there, you're giving 100%, your work ethics, you're there to bring success to the team, you're there to help everyone around you, you're there to transform people to be winners. Just, it's a different mentality. That's loyalty. Opportunity is the next step. So if something else comes along, that's an opportunity for your career.
Wow.
So and as people live in the corporate world. You work for ABC, and there comes D, E, and F ask for to take you to another job. You go.
Of course, naturally.
If it's one position up and better salaries, you go.
Of course.
Because tomorrow you run the risk of being dismissed, or company closing down. However, you got to weigh the pros and cons. But I think in my case, to answer your question, I move. You cannot compare Man United
with Sporting.
Of course. Because he has the opportunity. He goes to Man United, they rock bottom, you can't get worse. He changes it for the better.
Of course.
What's the next step? Real Madrid.
That's
Barcelona,
how it goes.
PSG.
That's how it goes.
That's how it rocks.
Speaking of Real Madrid, Coach, they played against Liverpool on Wednesday evening. Real Madrid losing to Liverpool by 2-0 away from home. I'm sure you had a glimpse of it.
I watched the game. I wasn't surprised. They were without 5 of the top players through injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of youngsters came in, although I was impressed. I was impressed with Son, the centre-back. The other youngsters did well. But you know, when you don't have a Vinicius there, he's the catalyst. He's the game changer.
Of course.
It changes the dynamics. It puts the opposition on a better footing because you don't have Vinicius running at you all the time. Mbappe, we spoke about it. Mbappe. He's failed, in my opinion.
Wow. He's not lived up to...
He would never.
Yeah, he was even quiet on the game, to be honest. I also watched the match. I was not impressed.
No, Mbappe wasn't Mbappe at PSG because they gave him all the glory and they made everything work towards Mbappe.
Yeah, everything was around.
Yeah, this is Real Madrid. There's another 10 players like you, man.
Sure.
There's Vinicius. There's plenty.
Sure.
Camavinga's playing the midfield, can play. There's lots of stars there aren't many stars at PSG, by the way.
True.
Compared to Real Madrid.
True.
Real Madrid is Real Madrid. And every player is a star. And he comes into this big pond.
The Galacticos,
right? And he's got the pressure on him. And he's battling to manage it.
Would you, if you are Mbappe's agent, would you have said Mbappe stay at PSG and just become a legend there, or good decision?
Again, it's about opportunities. It's about your CV. I've played at PSG. If he hadn't gone to Real Madrid, he would have probably lived with regrets again.
Of course.
I should have gone.
Of
I had an
course.
opportunity. So go Real Madrid and make it work, or expose yourself. In this case, at this stage, he's exposing himself, because Mbappe, he hasn't come through. Between him and Vinicius, I'll take Vinicius on any day.
Of course.
And that tells you the story.
Mm.
So yes, they lost 2-0 against a very good Liverpool team, solid. Liverpool haven't won. They haven't lost many games.
They only lost one against Nottingham the
Nottingham
whole
Forest.
season. Imagine.
So momentum's on their side.
Yeah.
Here comes Real Madrid playing at home in England. The whole cop behind you, and you got 5 changes in your team. It's going to be an uphill task. So I wasn't surprised.
I get it. I know you're going to touch on the Europa as well, on Benfica, coach. Is there a game that happened in the Champions League on Tuesday or Wednesday that you wanted to speak about that I might have not? Because I just spoke about the big ones. Maybe there's a specific one that you'll say.
No, the others' results are not surprising. There were some teams that came back from 2-0 down and they equalised, and that's how this competition's been going. I watched Benfica. They had a good win, 3-2, scored in the last minute, also under pressure in Portugal. Let's see, what happens. But Sporting one wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid losing 2-0. It's not the first time Real Madrid have lost that as well. Last year they lost some games away.
Yeah.
And they lost it, by the way, at home. From Real Madrid, you never know what you get. But the fact that they had 5 players out of the team yesterday made a big part.
Okay, so you're impressed with Benfica?
Benfica was good because they scored in the last minute. They played well. It was a away game. Difficult.
Yeah, of course.
2-2.
Of course.
Under pressure. The coach is under pressure. The team's under pressure. Underperforming. And they're going to sneak this win. It just, for morale booster, it's just like that, what we call a oxygen tonic.
I get it.
So it's like the players stand like, wow, we've won this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd get on the bus and on the plane, and the chest just bottles up again. Because it's the pressure.
I get
Game
it.
after game.
Game after game. I get it. And coach, what did I want to ask you? It was about the UEFA. I wanted to ask you something. Oh, yes. As we wrap up the UEFA, coach, you've given us a feel. I know you follow the Portuguese game very well. You've given us a feel of what's happening at Sporting. Different voice. The players are not too sure. Ruben is obviously left. What's happening at Benfica right now? How is the feel? Can you just share? Because I know you follow week in, week out.
Yeah, look, the coaches, again, he's got a few things to change. There's a few prima donnas there. There's a lot of players from different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got them to play. There's a different mentality in the team. They're starting to score goals. Even coming from behind, they're starting to get results. So I think there's a mentality shift as far as that's concerned. Benfica went through a bit of a bad spell. That's why the coach left. And this guy is a dynamic guy, and he's getting them to start to believe in themselves. And football is about, coaching is about getting players to believe in themselves, taking them to the next level. So words matter. Words are crucial.
More than character.
I'm
just joking.
No. Words drive character.
Words drive character. You just had to squeeze it in. Good one.
But yes, he's starting to connect with him. And yesterday's result was that catalyst for the coming games.
Oh.
Because they won the last minute. Corner, bang, they scored. We won. And it was good for the morale of the team because they came back from a result.
So
negative result.
We still need to wait and see and get the feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the next home game will tell us a lot because now they're building momentum.
Yeah.
Sporting, they need 11 points. They've got 9. It's 3 games to go to qualify for the next round of the Champions League. I think they can do it because they need 2 points.
Okay.
Draw. Even if it's draw every game. Now, if we're going to get hammered every game, then it's going to be pressure. Then it's a problem.
Then it's going to be a problem. And coach, as we move right along to the EPL, we've got interesting games that are happening this weekend. I think the game that everyone's much talked about, it's on the 1st of December, 6 o'clock South African time, Liverpool and Manchester City. I remember 3-4 years back, this used to be the fixture before Arsenal and Manchester United took over. Coach, this one is unique. Why I say it's unique, it's because Manchester City are going to their 7th game. And going into that game, they have to get the results. Liverpool, top of the log, not lost much as we said earlier on. And they don't want to, if there's a team that they don't want to help to bounce back is Manchester City. I think it's the game of the weekend. Based on that, it's going to be a massive one. How do you see it panning out, Coach? You can't give us a score because obviously you can't predict the score. But just the feel of the game, how do you think it's going to turn out, Coach?
Listen, this game's got all the spices.
I think so too, hey?
It's got the piri piri, it's got the coriander, it's got the curry. This game is spiced to the max.
I think so too. I think so too, Coach.
And Liverpool will be quietly rubbing their hands, because imagine Liverpool are the team that gives Manchester City the seventh loss.
Exactly. It's just going to be, it's interesting times.
I mean, you can't write the script.
Yeah, you can't write the script, eh?
The coach will be going, if I win this game, it will be so many more. Yeah. We've just knocked up Real Madrid, or we beat Real Madrid, we beat Manchester City. Look, these guys will be walking in the air. Psychologically, they're like, bring it on. So this is a huge, huge game for them, because it's about confidence building. And if you want to have 2 games in a row that gives you confidence, well, you couldn't ask for a better one.
Of course, it's
it's just set there. So it's going to be interesting to see Pepe, how he deals with the situation. I saw this morning, I think it was this morning, that he's all scratched. I don't know if you've noticed, he's scratched on his nose and his head.
Sure.
During the game, he's scratching his head here, and he's got no hair, so it becomes very easy. So it looks like he was involved in a fight. Meantime, he's catching himself. He's dealing with pressure that he's never had before. He's now have to reinvent himself. He's got to go back and go, wow, what do I do to change this? We're playing Liverpool. How's he going to motivate the guys? How's he going to inspire them when everyone's so doom and gloom at the moment? He's got a lot of work on his hands.
I get it. And Coach, what did the Liverpool coach do right? I mean, I thought since the departure of Jurgen Klopp, they're going to suffer. And the reason Jurgen Klopp left, he wanted more quality players, which they couldn't give him. So he was stuck with a lot of youngsters, which are doing well currently. What did the Liverpool coach do right? Because ever since he's arrived, they've just been outstanding.
He believed in the group of players that he's got. Now, there's nothing worse as a coach to turn around, come in the media, and it was evident that he needs more players. What's that telling you about the group of players that you have?
That you're useless.
You
don't believe in us. Yeah. So why should we play for you?
Exactly. Oh, okay. If this guy doesn't believe in me, and I've got to play, he doesn't believe in me, what confidence have I got? What's my self-worth? This guy's coming here, and funny enough, Ruben Amorim did the same at Man United, because when they asked him about players, he said, no, I believe in these players. So when you start believing in the players that you have, and you've got to make them think that they're the best in the world, they're going to perform. And this is exactly what he's done. He's got that. And I saw the game, and I'm like, who's this youngster? And he's believing them, and they're performing, and they outperform Real Madrid.
Of course.
That's building a team. That's building a group.
I get it.
That's creating a team dynamics where everyone is believing in each other's ability, where I can depend on you, where I can trust you. I mean, he played killer yesterday in the goals because the main goalkeeper is injured, the Brazilian.
Yeah. You mean on Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
Yeah. The week flies, that's why.
There's so many games now.
The week flies, yeah.
Wednesday. And Keller played, and he performed well. So he believes in them. And that sense of belief, the players, you can see there's a buzz about them. You can see even Salah. Salah's playing with like a spring in his heel.
Yeah, and he's got that swag. And you can just see.
Yeah, he's playing.
And the goals he scores as well.
Yes. I mean, I saw things on Wednesday that I'm like, this is not the Salah that I knew.
True.
Remember, Salah was on his way out at one stage.
True. Especially after when Sadio Mane left, he was no longer the same.
He was no longer the same.
But he's back.
Wow.
But he's back.
He's embraced the challenge. And this coach has obviously gone to him and said, listen, Salah, we need you to do your special things on the field. You need to be special on the field and be creative and take people on and one-on-ones and create danger. And it's given him that liberty. And you can see it in the games. I saw on Wednesday night, he was surrounded by 3 players and he was taking them all on.
True.
Before he'd lose the ball.
True.
He's doing things he can't even realize himself. He's able of doing.
Playing, he's on top of his game.
He's top of his game. Now, that's the part of a coach.
I get it. And coach, another one interesting one, you spoke about Manchester United. They take on the Toffees, which is Everton, on Sunday, the 1st of December, 3:30 kick-off. Coach, Manchester United, we've spoken about Ruben. What does this mean for him, coach? Erik ten Hag is fired. Ruud van Nistelrooy takes over, wins 4 games in a row convincingly. He comes in, he draws his first game. Psychologically, what does that do? What does that mean?
Depends on the performance.
Oh,
the results
well
don't
said.
always, yeah.
No, well said. That makes a lot of sense. I think you've summed it all up.
Yeah,
here.
the results are deceiving. Very deceiving. He could have played exceptionally well, and the other team could have been lucky. Or the other team could have been playing exceptionally bad, and they only got a result. Or the other team could have been on top of their game, played their best game of the season, because it's Man United, and you want to win. So you've got to look at these things holistically.
I get it.
So it wasn't a bad... You start with a draw, that's how you want to start. Minimum is a draw.
So it's an average start.
Yeah.
It's an average
So you start. Again, he doesn't know the players. What do you tell players? He doesn't know their strengths and weaknesses. How do you do a team talk? You've been there for 3 days, even though you watched them play, but you don't know them.
Of course,
You don't know what triggers them, what inspires them.
So you can't do miracles in 3. I mean, not even in a season, to be honest.
No. In a season, yeah. After 5 games, you should be able to. Now, Van Nistelrooy was easy because he was part of the technique.
Oh, yes. And he knew exactly,
He knew
the exact problems and who to get rid of and who to put in. Yeah, he knew exactly.
Yeah. I know how to talk to this one, I know how to say this, I know how to say that. He knew he knew exactly what was going on with the team.
No, that makes sense.
He knew what I call the wellness of this team. He knew exactly what was going on. So when he took over, he just changed a few things, gave a bit of hope to everyone. Everyone was on the high, got the first result, boom.
Yeah.
Second result, wow. Third result, start creating momentum. Ruben comes in, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah. So and then he would obviously hear the behind the scenes talk like, they don't like this, they don't like that. So he obviously corrected those mistakes. So it's just easier for him.
Much easier for him.
I get it.
And you'll normally see assistant coaches, when they become interim coaches for the first 2-3 games, they get results.
It's always like that.
Yeah, because they fix the problems that the other guy didn't want to fix.
But then they don't focus on the work at hand now.
Yeah. But then it starts catching up to them.
Sure.
If they're not good enough.
Yeah. Sure. Hey, this thing is complicated, hey? Coach, another one that's going to be interesting, personally for me, is the London derby. West Ham United against Arsenal. That's on Saturday. Arsenal, I don't know what season they are having. Hey, I mean, based on the past 2 seasons, they were always sitting there. And this time of the year, they'll be number 1 or 2 the past 2. But this year, I don't know what went wrong in that team.
That's why I always say that there's no 2 seasons the same. Because things change.
Of course.
Positions get better. Players leave. It changes the dynamics. Other teams get better organized. New coaches. So there's a lot to take in. And that's why I talk about there's no 2 seasons the same. Arsenal, yes, they've been having great momentum the last 2-3 years. Been building on. But sometimes the luck of the draw. The roll of the ball. Not your day. And like it or not, luck plays a major role.
Of course.
Major role.
And it's a derby. Like, it's always a ham thing. Arsenal, West Ham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a ham thing.
So that in itself will help Arsenal because it's a derby. And derbies will always play in favour of, I won't say that Arsenal are not underdogs, but they haven't been consistent.
Of course.
This 5-1 against Sporting will have helped them.
Maybe to bring back the confidence. Yeah. And tonight's coach, team that we love so much, always speak about them. They fight so hard and run so hard. Brighton, Southampton should be an exciting one as well.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Gutsy, fight for everything, compete for everything.
I'm looking forward to that tonight.
You know what I mean? It's what I call the old style English football.
I get you.
Just get stuck in, get in their face, don't let them play.
True.
Brighton, we know Brighton, they can play quality football. Obviously Southampton now are going to make it as difficult as possible.
Of course.
They can't afford to lose these games. You know, this is where these teams look at each other and say, ooh, if we get 3 points here, and interesting when I talk about when we get 3 points here, when all the teams I go to, when I look at the log, I sit down with the players and I say, right, let's look at the fixtures. Where can we steal points here? Where can we win games? and the players will go, well, we can beat these guys. 3 points, we can beat these guys. 3 points. This one away, okay, 1 point, 1 point. Oh, this one maybe loss, a point, 3 points. And then we accumulate all the points.
Sure.
And we go, guys, we can win this. We can come second, we can come third.
I get.
It gives us something to work towards to.
I get.
And it's interesting exercise because the players all go, Chiefs, yeah, we can beat Chiefs. Because people know they can beat Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Sundowns, well, at Sundowns, coach, it's a tough one for us. Maybe minimum draw, but if we lose, that's expected from us. It's a risky one because it also sends the wrong message for the players. Because like, oh, we're playing Sundowns, we have to lose. No.
Yeah, and you can't have that mentality.
No, it just gives you a guideline that if you lose against Sundowns, it's okay because we're going to make up those points somewhere else.
I get.
So away, minimum 1 point. Wherever you play, minimum 1 point.
I
And
get
then it balances out. 3 points at home, point away. 3 points at home, point away. And that's how you start. Brighton and Southampton will be looking at those. Oh, we're playing Southampton, guys. We must have put you. Southampton might have gone, oh, we're playing away, draw. It's one of those games that they're looking at each other to steal points from one another.
Coach, you just touched on, interesting enough, it's like you read my mind. Kaizer Chiefs, you just spoke about them now. I was getting to the PSL next. They've got interesting games ahead this weekend in the PSL. There's Pirates and Stellenbosch United. I think that's the game of the weekend. Kaizer Chiefs played midweek and they played against Richards Bay. They won by 2 goals, 2-1. And everyone was happy. The stadium was packed. And Coach, do you believe, because everyone says that, it's been said that when Kaizer Chiefs do well, it's just healthy for the league. It's a more supported team. The taxis, when you pour petrol, where people talk, it's just a nice vibe if Kaizer Chiefs do well. Do you think there's no such?
There's no rule that Kaizer Chiefs do well, we have to be happy.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. When Chiefs does well, the whole country gets happy.
Yeah, because they have a lot of support. You know, that's where it comes from. So you feel it because every second person or fourth person is a Chiefs supporter. So you're going to get that energy from them.
But it doesn't make the country happy.
No. Interesting you talk like that. I went somewhere the other day and I put petrol. Stopped at the garage.
Yeah, that's where you get the proper coaches. They know this.
Yeah. So the guy said, coach, how are you? We start chatting and he's Sundowns, they must go.
Yes.
Hey guys, what's wrong? He's lost 2 games.
Yeah.
We're going to go through this. Manchester City's lost 5.
But coach, the reason they are saying that is that he didn't just lose 2 games. He lost the cup final. And now he played, he didn't even lose on Tuesday night. He played a draw in the CAF Champions League. They expected to win. Are they spoiled, the fans?
Absolutely. That's what happens when you win too much too quick. And there's no guarantee that you have to win every game. There's no such thing. You got to respect the opposition first. That's sometimes the problem of these teams. It's the arrogance that we are Sundowns, we expect to win. No, there's no expectations, my friend. What you expect is to perform.
And the results can go either way.
The results can go either way. If you disrespect the opposition, you're going to pay the price.
Sure.
And these guys took advantage of that. I know when I was at Swallows, my best results came against Sundowns. Look it up.
Wow. Which game was that game?
We played them in the cup. We beat them 3-2 at Loftus. We played them at home. We drew 2-2. We played them two Saturdays in a row back to
for
back.
the MTN 8?
Yeah.
Because it's home and away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but just through a year. Just through a year.
Oh, it was not the road to the MTN final?
No, it was just the league.
And
we played them at Loftus. We beat them there 3-2. They came the week after they came to our place. We drew 2-2.
Wow.
Because they're arrogant.
And you told them, get stuck in.
Yeah, we get stuck in their face. Arrogant players, you get stuck in their face. And that's the problem when you win too much. And Sundowns had that aura about them. And they still have that aura about them.
Of course.
African champ, and rightfully so.
Coach.
No problem.
Yeah.
But you have to perform. So when they look at the opposition, and let's face it, the opposition midweek wasn't a strong opposition.
Of course.
They undermined them.
It was definitely not a strong opposition.
When you undermine your opposition, you must remember they want to come here and prove a point.
And they're going all out.
They're going all out. So you undermining them, you're underperforming. And when I talk about underperforming, I'm talking about the tackles, the 50-50s, getting to the ball quicker. The small little details. That's the difference between winning and losing with those teams.
Oh.
They are giving more energy. They're getting stuck in. They're tackling for every single ball. They're making it difficult. And you're underperforming. They're imposing themselves and you're underperforming. Well, statistically, it's going to go against you.
Wow. So there's no crisis at Sundowns?
No, it happens. It happens to the best of teams. If it's happened to Liverpool, it's happened to Milan, it's happened to Manchester City now.
Of course.
Currently,
Of course.
it's happened to Sporting Lisbon. Anyone on any day can get nailed nowadays. If you undermine opposition and you take them for granted, you will pay the price.
Wow.
And that's exactly what Sundowns did.
Wow. And coach, what did you make of, speaking of Sundowns and Champions League, what did you make of Pirates also played on Tuesday when Sundowns played, but they played in the later game at 9 o'clock. They went all the way against Bells, what's the team's Bells or no, something like that.
Yes,
the
from
team
Algeria.
From Algeria. And they are no pushovers. They are always there in Champions League. They go there and they come back with 3 fat points. What did you make of that, coach?
That shows you what I just said, the opposite. They went there, took nothing for granted, realized they were in the competition. It's Champions League.
It's Champions League.
You got to perform. Those guys are there for a reason. They have some value. Don't take them for granted. We are equal to them, but to be better than them, we have to show up and we have to perform. And that's exactly what they did.
I get you. And coach, I want to ask you this question as a coach. If you were the Pirates coach right now, Pirates does have depth, not like Sundowns, but they do have a big team. Do you rotate the team? Because obviously they don't have the legs to travel. I mean, they're probably back. They're playing on Sunday. They're playing again during the week. So do you believe in rotating the team, or do you believe that you don't change a winning combination? What's your take on that when you play these competitions?
I've always stuck to the philosophy, you don't change a winning combination. However, you've got to take it into consideration that when you're traveling, you've got to change a few things. Especially the players that run the most. You know, defense, centre backs and that you can maintain. They run the least.
Okay.
Goalkeeper runs the least of all of them.
Of course.
Midfielders, you got to start looking at who ran the most. They have the statistics nowadays.
Yeah, they've got these vests.
Yeah, and that shows you, are they in the red, are they in the green? You can monitor that. Are they entering into fatigue? If so, well, they need to rest. Or start off on the bench, for example. Start off on the bench, then go on, play 20 minutes if they need to. But you got to look at it holistically and say, who's fatigue, who can manage, who's got a knock. For example, you might have some players that came back with some knocks, and if they play another game, they're going to risk it, even worse. So rest. So you got to do what I talk about, an assessment on the team. Number 1, injuries. Number 2, fatigue. And then number 3, see exactly who's your opposition that you're playing against, and can you risk, if your squad is big enough, do you have the players on the bench that are on par with the guys that start? Then you can make those decisions.
So when it comes to such competitions now, you can't say you need a variation where there needs to be a rotation. You have to rotate, and you just need to be smart about it. So there is a place for rotation in such competitions when it comes to traveling.
Yes, as long as you have the players on par with the guys that are starting. Your starting lineup is normally your best players, and then your subs secondary. But they got to be on par. So if I have, hypothetically, if I'm going to change 3 players in the midfield, I've got to have 3 quality midfielders. If I've only got 1 and I'm changing 3 and I'm going to put the other 2 that are not on par, and I've got to look at the opposition, I run the risk. So I've got to balance these things.
And coach, I think that's going to affect Stellenbosch United the most, because they've got the thinnest squad compared to the team that are traveling. They don't have that much of a big squad. And on top of that, Pirates, Sundowns have taken their best players as well. They played on Wednesday night against Stade Milien, and they lost by 2-0. They come back again on Sunday. They play against Pirates, and they've had a topsy-turvy start to their season. They didn't start that well. They've not been consistent. How much does it affect a team like Stellenbosch? They're playing in Cape. Well, they're not playing in Cape. They're in the Confederations Cup. How much does it affect a team like Stellies?
It really depends what they set out to do from the beginning. So they might use this to play 1 or 2 games and then pull out. financially it costs a lot of money,
Of
and
course.
it's not worth it.
No, it's not. Only when you start getting into after the group stage, that's when you start getting money.
So they might have taken a decision where they go, okay, guys, we're taking the youngsters, we're going to play these players. If we get knocked out, it's fine. If we don't, we'll run the risk. It's okay, no problem. But let's not run the risk with injuring our best players. So they might manage it in that way. But that depends on the club, what they've decided from the beginning. I know at Swallows, when we played in the African competitions, we had a small squad. And then we wanted to get knocked out as quickly as possible.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Because you have to order the fixture.
Yeah, and it costs a lot of money.
Ah.
It costs big money. And if you don't have that money...
So, coach, you tell the players, guys, you're going there to lose today?
No, you don't tell the players, but you change the squad.
Ah.
You take the second-tier players. And Swallows second-tier players weren't the greatest. We had a very thin squad. We had 24 players. So you got 6 players that weren't quite there. And you take those 6 players. Well, technically you're competing. You're on the back foot already. You're on the back foot already. Because you need a good performance from everyone.
Did you experience any badness? How was traveling, coach? Because people, like, as a person who's experienced, how is it like traveling in Africa and?
We weren't as fortunate as Sundowns and Chiefs are in Pirates when they go into those teams to play out there in Africa. We only went to Mauritius, which was great.
Oh, you're in the preliminary rounds. Yes.
We were Mauritius, which is lovely.
Oh, of course. Lovely. That's a holiday.
The hotel was crap. And then we went to Zim around the corner. They treated us well. So it wasn't too bad. But I've heard of Sundowns where they play in Sudan.
Yeah.
They got to travel to France
first to get
back to Sudan.
Yeah.
And then at the hotel, the guys were making a noise.
Yeah, that's the usual story. Story.
Yeah, those are the shenanigans.
And coach, when you coach a PSL game and a CAF Champions League game, do you sense that there's more competition here, or it's basically the same because you played obviously against the same from Mauritius and Zimbabwe? So how did you find the competition? Or
a little bit weak in Mauritius.
Obviously, yeah.
A little bit. I wouldn't say weak. I would say naive. Naive decision making. Still very amateur. Then, and this is where you see.
Not to this day.
Yeah. Ability wise, yes, they can play. Technically, sometimes they're better than us, but naive when it comes to decisions.
How do you work on decision making, coach? Because I would feel that decision making is something that you're born with. I mean, you can't tell a player when they're in the box that no, here you must kill the keeper, or here you must just pass the net. How do you?
It depends on your development. It depends on your development. Now, let's look at Mauritius and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe are not too bad. I find that Zimbabwean players very intelligent. So, very surprisingly, very intelligent. They know the game a bit more.
Yeah. I've seen great Zimbabwean players.
Yeah.
I mean, Tinashe Ngomashe, Ezra Myandoro. Yeah. Those are top international players.
I don't know why, how, but it's there. But generally speaking, it's the naivety that takes them, that exposes them, not their general ability. Decision making, definitely that. They don't know when to make the right decision, when to release the ball, when to play a through ball. Sometimes they're under pressure. They just play the closest teammate, putting him under pressure as well. Instead of playing it further or just kicking it up.
Oh yeah, but those things are coached. No, I get you now.
Yeah, those things are coached, and not every coach knows that. So let's not fall into a trap here. Not everyone that's a coach knows football.
You always say that. Yeah,
not even the coach knows football.
Sure.
There are coaches that they're coach, but they don't know football. They'll know the basics. They'll understand certain dynamics.
The theory as well.
The theory, a little bit of it, but they don't understand concepts. They don't have their own concepts, and they don't know how to coach those concepts.
Sure.
And this is where you see. This is where you see it. I see it every day. By the way, when I look at games, I'm like, this team, yeah.
Coach, if you can allow us to come to your show and just talk about coaching concepts, dedicate the whole hour just to go into detail. Because we watch football and we think this guy can coach it, but there's actually dynamics. When I speak to you off cam, so many things that you revealed to me. I think it would be nice for the listeners as well to hear that insight. What's the difference between a coach and the creativity and the little schemes and stuff like that? That would be great, eh?
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah.
That was a good one. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but this is a difference. Not every coach, and I say it openly, not every coach that's coaching is a coach. No, I'm sorry. They're coaching because someone's given them the opportunity to coach. But when I watch their game, I can see there's no structure, there's no coaching. You can see it. It's like black and white. When I look at a game, I know exactly, oh, this is a proper coach. This coach doesn't understand this, he doesn't understand that. And the sad part about this is that some coaches do the apprenticeship in the PSL and the NFT. So I'm investing money and I'm giving someone to learn the game in my club to relegate me. Really? That's not being very smart. And people think, oh, he's a coach. You've got a D license, you've got a C license. You've got a... No, the coaching and a coaching course just gives you the authority to coach.
To sit on the bench.
Doesn't give you the knowledge to coach.
Sure. Difference between CAF and UEFA?
UEFA is better. And this is told by people that do the CAF courses. There's no comparison. Although there's certain things that have to be on par now. It's the quality of the course. It's the quality of the instructors as well.
Oh,
you can go to one varsity and you can go to another varsity. It's the lecture that makes the difference.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true.
And this is the feedback. So, talking about feedbacks here, we're done.
That quick?
That's quick.
Are you being for real?
It's real.
Honestly, coach.
We have to wrap up.
Wow.
It's that time of the night. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, when you're having fun. This is what happens. I know what your next question was we're gonna
Yeah,
but I'll leave it for another day.
Of course.
Otherwise we don't have a program.
Of course. And thank you for inviting me once again.
See,
I feel honored. Like so many people that have sat on this chair. Wow.
No.
I'm honored.
You might go to guy, you there. I should actually change it from Sia. Put the co-host.
But thank you so much.
We co-host this, by the way.
No.
You're my co-pilot, yeah. No, thanks, yeah. And yeah, we'll chat soon.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
You made it interesting because you asked the questions. Very well done.
But thank you for sharing.
Thank you. No, thank you. Well, that's it. That concludes our evening tonight. Friday. Hope you do, and whatever you do, enjoy. Remember, character matters. Always be considerate. On the road, off the road, at work, with family, consideration should always come first. Good night.